Hello, everybody, and welcome to the selfgrowth.com show. My name is David Riklan, and I'm the founder of selfgrowth.com. Today, we'll be discussing the magic of affirmation power. To help us understand this topic, I'm excited to interview Michele Blood. Make sure to listen closely. We're going to be sharing a lot of information today. Before we get started, I want to take a couple of minutes and share some information about Michele. Michele Blood is a successful, multi-talented lady. We're going to see that in a little bit. In addition to creating musivation products and seminars worldwide, her public mystical success events have been held in over 16 countries. Her largest audience was 50,000 people in Kuala Lumpur. Michele has co-written and created over 80 books, audio programs, TV shows, videos on positive thought, mind transformation, meditation, and more. She's appeared in hundreds of podcasts, radio shows, and magazines in over 16 countries. After many years of meditation, Michele's Kundalini awakened and transformed her consciousness. She now teaches others how to live a mystical life and experience divine oneness, which is the true heart of genuine happiness, success, and purpose in one's life. She's worked closely with a wide range of other experts, including Bob Proctor, Wayne Dyer, Deepak Chopra, and Louise Hay. And I'd like everybody to jot down a website. She's going to be offering everybody a free gift today. So make sure to jot this down. I'm going to give you a website. It's Michele, and that's Michele with one L, M-I-C-H-E-L-E, Blood, micheleblood.com/self-growth. So make sure to jot it down. We'll be talking about this free gift in a little bit, about the power of affirmations. Michele, welcome to our show.
Thank you, David. It's so good to see you. I've known you, 20 years now? It's fantastic to see all that you're doing to assist, to uplift the world and to help authors and experts and people that want to change their lives. So you rock, David.
Thank you very much. And I know you've been out there impacting a lot of lives for a long time. It's very excited to have you here face to face. We'll have a lot of stuff we want to go over today. So I want to jump in over here. I know you write about meditation and self-realization, and you have people that are students of this mystical experience from all over the world. Can you tell us a little bit, how do they become part of it? How does it transform someone's consciousness? Tell us a little bit about this and what you're doing.
Okay, well, this is absolutely something that is so much fun, so enjoyable, and it assists people to connect with each other from all over the world. And since the lockdown, we've been doing virtual events so they can all see each other. For those who can't normally fly in to America to see me or another country, they can all see each other. And we have been doing this since 2006, and it's called the Mystical Experience, and their members, it's a membership. And so what we do with this membership, we've got people, the members are from over 26 countries. Some of them don't even speak English, but because they feel the light that's transmitted, and I'll explain what that is in a little more detail later, but it is something that assists people. We have one-on-one sessions with people. I transmit light to them, do prayers, teach them meditation. If they want to go really deeply into mysticism and awaken themselves, we assist them with that. Each member supports each other as well. I mean, just yesterday we did a mastermind for someone who really wanted to have some help with something she's doing with her business. I mean, because I consider every area of somebody's life is important to have fulfillment, purpose, and to make money, because the happier they are, the more they can focus on their inner self and awaken. So it's pretty simple what we're doing, but at the same time, it's pretty deep. So if someone ever wanted to check it out, we are going to give you an offer later so you can try it for a month for free.
Okay, sounds good. I mentioned earlier that we're talking about the power of affirmations, and I've known about affirmations for a long time. Can you share some information about affirmations? And I know the power that it had for you in terms of healing your body, and just take us through affirmations.
Okay, well, I'm going to share my story. I know you probably heard it a lot, David, over the years, but there's definitely some people there who haven't heard it. And I think it's a really positive thing to listen to how somebody's life changed from a near fatal car accident. And so if someone can have their body healed and go on to success, traveling the world first class 5-star from being a rock singer in Australia who left school at 15, well, then I think it's proven that this really works. So what happened to me, I'm going to make this very long story, very short, but it is interesting. It's very unique. Being a professional singer, literally since I was 5, I was on TV, since I was a little girl singing. And then later, as I got a little older, like in my teens and early 20s, I started a lot of different bands, which I would be the business manager, the lead singer, the co-songwriter. I would get the record deals. I would get the agents to do the gigs. I would get the trucks. I mean, I learned a lot of business while I was being the lead singer, because all of that work was worth it to be doing what I love to do. So eventually I created a band where every band member was just absolutely awesome. And we got to tour with In Excess, with the Pretenders, with so many amazing bands from overseas that were coming to Australia. And it was just a phenomenal band. We were killing it. And on the way home from a gig in Australia's, like even Michael Hutchins from In Excess, I'm dropping names because I knew them, said to me once, I don't know how you do it as a woman touring Australia. He said, those audiences are rough, man. And I said, no one's thrown a beer at me yet, Michael.
Okay, so you survived.
I survived. So anyway, Australia's huge. And back then there was only 16 million people. We're talking about a country that's as big as the USA. And so it's miles in between, hours and hours and hours in between each gig, each city. And so the driver, it was winter, he had the heater on. The truck driver, we all took turns to even go in the cars or the truck. And I went with the truck driver this time. I fell asleep, he fell asleep, and we slammed into a telephone pole. And my body was really badly damaged. They didn't think I'd survive the first week at all. I was in the hospital for months and months and months and months. And I felt quite suicidal, not just from the agony of the pain, but because the doctors were saying, you're not going to be able to be on stage dancing and doing that crazy stuff anymore, Michelle, because I used to do cartwheels, jump on top of speakers, you know, it wasn't some little pop band, it was a rock band. And so people started bringing into the hospital or sending to the hospital affirmation tapes and positive thinking stuff, which was never in my periphery before, because I thought I was in my life's purpose, doing what I love to do. So I wasn't ever searching out there. But one of the tapes was Napoleon Hill. It was Earl Nightingale in that gorgeous, beautiful, deep voice of his, speaking from the book Think and Grow Rich from Napoleon Hill. This is the only tape that I resonated with, because when I didn't care about Henry Ford and rich men in America, how they become successful through auto-suggestion and affirmation. But what I did care about is that Napoleon Hill healed his little infant son who was born with no hearing, 100% no hearing, by going into his little boy's room every night and saying, you can hear perfectly. You are strong and healthy and wise and intelligent, positive. He would do this night after night after night. The little boy, by the time he was 5, had 30% hearing, went to a normal hearing school. They didn't have hearing aids back then, but he went on, when they did have hearing aids, to make that industry huge, have 100% hearing and become extremely rich. So I thought, great, I'm going to do auto-suggestion. I'm going to do the affirmations. So Napoleon Hill, I just knew it was true, that it would work. Napoleon Hill said, you have to do an affirmation in the now, as if it's already happened.
Right.
Something that you want to manifest in your experience or heal your body, whatever it is. So I said, okay, the doctors are saying I'll never be completely healed. I still had 2 long operations to go through. So I said, okay, I am healed. That's a great affirmation, because that's totally not true. I know I am, because I didn't know I am. I love myself. I am my friend. And I didn't, because as I said before, I was depressed. So I'm doing this affirmation over and over and over again in the hospital. And after a few days, I just said, look, I don't even feel better emotionally. This is not working. I just guess, he said, you've got to emotionalize it. And I can't emotionalize it because I can't get it past my doubting mind. My doubting mind is just spitting it out because it doesn't believe it's true. So 1 week later, lying in the hospital bed, couldn't move. And the light bulb came on. You can call it a satori, a spiritual epiphany. And I said, oh my God, if I sing these affirmations, well, then it'll go straight into my subconscious mind. I had people go out to look for singing affirmations. They couldn't find any. They said, there isn't any. There's just these spoken affirmations. And so I just got a little recorder and I am healed, I know I am. I love myself, I am my friend. Over and over again, the healing light of the universe surrounds me. I know I am healed. I'd sing it again and again on this recorder over and over. So in the end, I had miraculous healing. I started recording other affirmation songs just for areas of my life I wanted to improve, not to sell. I didn't even think of doing that. I was a rock singer. I wasn't like doing little affirmation songs for the world. But journalists in Australia found out about my healing. And so they had me on TV shows and in a lot of magazines. And then promoters were coming to me that promoted well-known authors of self-help, like Dr. Deepak Chopra, Wayne Dyer, Bob Proctor, all of these different people. So I ended up touring with them, getting paid $5,000 a gig. And I mean, in those days, even though we worked really hard, we were lucky to make $2,000 in profit a month after paying the road crew and everyone else. Sure. And I was like, this is just me on my own with the music in the background. Yeah, you just entertain, get them all up on their feet, get them to sing the affirmations, do it in between each speaker. I'd never heard of these speakers before, David. I was sitting backstage. The first gig was in Adelaide and Deepak Chopra was sitting next to me. I didn't know who he was. Wayne Dyer had just finished speaking and I was clapping and I was like, that's really interesting. I like this dude. Anyway, and I said, oh, hi, I'm Michele Blood. And he said, oh, I'm Deepak. And I went, oh, are you speaking as well today? And he just started laughing because I didn't know who these people were. And he said, look, what you're doing is amazing. This really works fast for people. And you're really keeping the audience alive, because there were 3,000 people and the air conditioning had broken down, but everyone was staying and they were doing it. But then when I worked with Bob Proctor, because he did not want a singer, he said to the promoter, I do not want some chick singer. I don't need that. I'm Bob Proctor. I know how to, entertain and teach my audience. And I said, no, she's going to be on because we know it works. We've seen her in action. Halfway through the night, he came back to the green room and he said, I didn't want you. And I was like, oh, thanks. G'day. Nice to meet you too, Bob. And he said, but I'm so glad you did. These affirmation songs, he said, I can't get them out of my head from just one listening of the Magnet to Money song and the I Am Energy song. He said, I want to work with you all over the world. I want to learn how to write some of the affirmation lyrics with you. And so I ended up working all over the world with Bob Proctor, and we assisted each other a lot. I helped get his image to be different, sort of a little more modern. I started producing his audio programs for him because they weren't really that professional, even though he was, because anyway, that's how that all began. I ended up touring all over the world with lots and lots of other people. Then I ended up doing on my own events and had hit records, all the things that I'd always dreamt of doing and having. And I know that the affirmations built up that frequency, that vibration, so that the veils were lifting and I was able to see opportunities and things that I hadn't seen before. And so I was able to create some very unique and very, very fun events. So that's how that happened.
All right, well, let me unpack that. There was a lot of material, a lot of things that you just shared. First, unbelievable story, car accident. I can't imagine. You think your career is going well, you're touring all over the place with these high-powered, successful groups, and then you're hospitalized, it's all over. I can't even imagine, because the people forget the amount of work to get to where you were was substantial. And then you just hit a wall. And not only hit a wall with your business, you hit a wall physically. I can't imagine how that was like, just brutal for you. And then I love the fact that you were able to combine affirmations with music. And let me tell you why. Forever, and even as a kid, I think we realized the power of music. Everybody knows music has this power to impact us emotionally, impact us spiritually. Whether it's singing along with our favorite song years ago, and it sticks with us. We know that. I think everybody knows that. And a lot more people are hearing and understanding the power of affirmations, these positive affirmations that you're making. First person in the now positive affirmations. But I love this combination of combining the affirmations with the music. And in just a couple seconds, I've heard you sing before, but I think just in the couple seconds of singing, you gave people a sense of the power of your voice. You have a very strong voice, and obviously one that's been trained forever. You said you were doing it from when you were 5. So I just love that concept of being able to really combine these two things that we know work. Affirmations have been around, the concept's probably 100 plus years old, and the power of music's been around forever to sort of really combine those. So I want to continue, because one of the things that I find interesting relative to your journey is, and I know you speak about it, we haven't talked about it yet, is you have this journey going from this affirmations to what you describe as a full Kundalini awakening. So a number of folks might not even be familiar with the term Kundalini. So can you step us through maybe first what that even means, Kundalini and a Kundalini awakening, and then how you go from this journey from starting with affirmations to this full awakening? Because that's really my understanding what this mystical experience is about.
Yes.
So step us through this.
Okay, for those of you who don't know right now consciously what some of the terminologies are I'm going to be using, your soul does. Your higher self understands all of this, because the reason you're here on this planet is to become free. Everyone can become free. So many people have had these spiritual awakenings and they weren't sure what it was. So before I talk about the journey of how it happens, the Kundalini is like, it's in the divine dimension, because we actually live in the divine dimension, but we think that this world is solid, is real, but it's not. We are actually immortal consciousness. We are a soul that is eternal, that has always been part of that ocean, that light. You're like a diamond, you're diamond, but people can't feel it anymore because they're sort of, that's why the Buddha said, what happened? I woke up, I'm awake now.
Right.
And so I used to hear about this and about people meditating, and I was meditating, but I didn't really know that much about meditation, but I loved to go into the silence because at that stage I was feeling like I had this heart glow. I didn't know at the time it was that my heart chakra was slightly activated, not completely, but slightly activated just through the things that I'd been doing myself. And so the Kundalini, like, look at this beautiful fellow here. The Kundalini is at the base of the spine. Everyone has it. Everyone is born with it. This is the most amazing place to be born. There are many, many, many different dimensions, different world planes, different things that I have experienced and seen and flown through the Stargate to see. If I heard someone talking like this before, I'd be like, oh, they're full of it. But it's true. It's actually true. More true than any of this. And so the Kundalini is there at the base of the spine, and there's all these energy centers called chakras. And people think it's at the front, but it's actually along something called the Sushumna, which is a hollow tube on the ethereal body. And it's blocked, it's clogged with all of the different experiences and emotions and habits and judgments and just a whole lot of, crappy stuff, the Maya, which is the collective consciousness of the planet. So some people call it Shakti. The Shakti is everywhere. That's energy, that's light. That is what scientists call, vibration and energy, and it's Shakti. But the Kundalini, when it's in the person and hasn't sort of come up yet, is Kundalini. But when it starts coming up, it becomes Shakti. It becomes alive, and it starts vibrating like little bubbles of light all the way through, and starts cleaning out that Sushumna until your chakras begin to be activated. Now, just a word of advice, don't do this at home. Don't ever meditate on lower chakras. It's very dangerous. I'm serious. It's dangerous. Just, here and there, just that's it. Not the crown chakra either. You have to wait till you have an enlightened teacher that can transmit energy, because otherwise people have had horrific Kundalini awakenings when they're not ready to handle it. So I looked all over the world, David, for a teacher who knew God. I knew these amazing people. I got along with them so well. I mean, Bob's just awesome, but they weren't awakened. I wanted someone who knew God, because the more your frequency begins to oscillate at a faster vibration, the more you want to go deeper into self and find out what this life is all about. What's it all about, Alfie? And so I ended up meeting an enlightened teacher after traveling to over 26 different countries looking for someone. I was expecting either in Tibet or Bhutan or somewhere to find my Asian man who would transmit light, or my Indian guru with the long white hair, you know. But it was this younger than me, and I was young at the time, American woman who was awakened because she had a beautiful enlightened being who's now left the body, but transmit light to her. And there was only like 2, and he had thousands of students who became enlightened, but she was one of them. And when you resonate, when you're really, really searching for something, that thing is searching for you as well. You're resonating together. That's how manifestation happens. So that's how I end up eventually, after all those years of searching, finding my teacher, so that I did everything she told me to do, meditated. She's transmitting light to all of her students, and you feel it. You feel it through the top of your head. You feel tears start to come up. It's really interesting. If you look at the videos on the mystical experience and you hear what these people, and these are doctors and lawyers, they're not just some little teenage kids going, oh, it's just light and love, man. No, they're real successful people who have become my students, because these members want to awaken. They want to do even more. And what they find is they end up having even more success, because as you resonate at a higher frequency, faster, it's a speed, well, then you end up resonating with the things that you've always wanted that come into your life very, very fast. And I know you know all about this stuff, David, because you've been assisting experts in so many different arenas in self-help and self-discovery through selfgrowth.com for so many years. I mean, you're an expert on everything right now. But anyway, that's the story of how it happened for me. And it was like I had my enlightenment before, which I realized later. So it took all that time to have my enlightenment back again. I had to work at it. Everyone has to work at something. Don't ever think you just sit in a cave and go on. You have to take action. However, you also can't do it alone. You have to work, but you can't do it alone. Whenever you can get someone to assist you and give you a boost up spiritually or in any area of your life, it is very important to know that we are all one. It's not selfish to accept help.
All right, a few things. So before I delve a little bit deeper into some of the things you say, I mentioned earlier you're giving away a free gift, the Power of Affirmations. Can you first, let's give out the website again for people to get that. And I'll tell everybody, and then if you can unpack a little bit what they're going to get when they go there. And it's Michele with one L, with Michele Blood, BLOOD.com/self-growth. And you're going to get a free gift there. So make sure you jot that down, Michele1lblood.com/self-growth. Tell us what you get when you go there.
Well, you're going to get life-changing gifts. Please, just because it's free, because sometimes people feel like they've got to, pay for something before they'll open a book. You get the Magic of Affirmation Power, which talks about my journey, and it gives you so many great affirmations. But in the body of the ebook, so please open it, there are links to lots of extra gifts. You get some of my, like Magnet to Money song has been downloaded over 3 million times worldwide. I mean, because it works for people. Thank you, Reverend Ike. I end up knowing him quite well, and that's how I got the idea for that particular affirmation song. But anyway, you get a lot of the musivation songs that will assist you, my favorite ones that are very, very powerful. You also get another link that takes you to Magnetic Creative Visualization audio program, which is a beautiful, very, very powerful visualization for you to manifest the things that you want to experience that will bring you more success and happiness. You also get something that Bob and I did together called the Action Turbocharged Planner, which teaches you how to really break down your goals and how to take action. We did a great song for it, and an affirmation song to go with it. And also these are all products that are best-selling products. Also my video, how to, the practice of meditation, which is great for beginners, and it's great for someone who maybe dabbled in it, but they want to go deeper. That's a whole video lesson on how to meditate. And you also get 1 month free, $50 worth there, in as a gold member in the Mystical Experience. And just the people that David has introduced me to already have already started coming on the Zoom events, networking together. A lot of the podcast people are inviting all these people that they get to know to come and be interviewed. I mean, it's a great way to network, connect, and to go deeper mystically. And it's up to you how deep you want to go. If you just want to experience like-minded people and be around positivity and get some good ideas, do that. But if you want to go deeper, which I recommend, of course, well, then you do that. So you get all that over $200 worth of product at micheleblood.com/self-growth.
I like it. I like it. And I've gone there, downloaded it. Absolutely. Take 2 minutes. As soon as we're done, jot it down. Make sure you get the gifts. All right. I want to, there you go. Power of affirmation. All right. So a couple of things I want to delve a little bit more deeply. I don't want to take hours on it, but I just want your general sense of two of the things that you talk about and you use, very, very powerful techniques, are meditation and visualization. And I imagine sometimes they go hand in hand. Can you take just a couple of minutes and talk about what you've seen? Because these are things that you teach and you kind of walk people through in a wide range of areas. Can you step us through a little bit on what you found the power of meditation and visualization is for people and where it is, and kind of give people a sense of how important. We don't have time to really go deep on it right now for either meditation or visualization, but maybe just a little bit about how it works and why you see so much benefit and power from it.
Okay, great question. Okay, these are two different things. Visualization, people sometimes call that a guided meditation. Meditation is not what some people teach. They teach, oh, do this and now do this, now imagine that. And then they're talking the entire time and you don't even have a moment to actually visualize it. And you start using that muscle that may be new to you, imagineering, visualize. So it's not a guided meditation. It is a guided visualization. Now, the way I do it, when you listen to the magnetic creative visualization, I do take you through relaxation so that you can relax and be open and receptive to hearing the message. And it's very soft. You can go to sleep after it and you get to decide what sort of home you want to look at, where you go on vacation. The way I do it is the way that I would have always wanted to hear one, because I bought so many of them before I was, I'll just do my own. This is ridiculous. They don't have it down, these people. You've got to have time after the person's spoken. So it is very powerful because you think in pictures. If you want to give me the cat cushion real quick. Everybody thinks in pictures, even animals. But the subconscious mind, and this has been proven, all the things that I've been teaching for over 35 years have now been proven by neuroscientists and different areas of, intellect and science. It's just absolutely amazing. I think it's just down here. I've got it here. See, I manifested it right at my feet. So I'll just tell you a little funny thing real quick. So we think in patterns and pictures. We do not know. We think we know, but our subconscious mind does not know the difference between a picture and a real thing. Right. So this picture of one of my cats, okay, huge. So my other little cat, when I first got this as a gift, came up to it, tail went big, huge. He thought it was another cat. It's like, I was convinced it was another cat because it doesn't know the difference. So that's why visualization, even if you just do magnetic creative storyboard, which I talk about how to do exactly in this book. So you put your pictures. I won't go into all the details there, but you get the picture. You put yourself in a car that you want, all that sort of stuff. The reason I am living in the mountains in this beautiful home is because of visualization and affirmations and meditation. I would meditate deeply, and I found that it was really challenging because I was living in the city and there were people living above me with food. I used to pay the lady upstairs to take her kids to the movies each week so that, don't have people live upstairs if you want to meditate, because it was just too noisy. Right. So I would always visualize myself in the quietest place in the world. This is so quiet. The neighbors are 3 acres between each other.
Plenty of space.
The top of the mountain. And it's more beautiful than I even visualized because we leave. You don't go too exactly. You allow some of it for the divine to bring you something better than you want. Meditation is something as you quieten your mind and you quieten your thoughts, your blood pressure goes down, your heart rate slows, your immune system goes up. So even if someone does not think they're into spirituality. If you want it just for great health, it releases stress. You want to quieten your mind completely. I give out some sort of music as well sometimes so that people can just hear their own thoughts rather than somebody else's. Now, when people start to meditate first, for the very first time, they say to me quite often, "Oh, Michele, I've got more thoughts in my head than I ever had before." And I said, "No, you don't. You're just more aware of them. Now you're aware of the crazy monkey mind, the rabbit hole. Oh, that smells like a Cinnabon. I think I'll get one. You know, the senses running your life instead of you running your life. You're not in control at all because your senses are just taking you here and there and everywhere. You have to, gives you a focus. It makes you more intelligent. You can finish projects faster with no stress. The more you meditate in the silence, the more the Kundalini energy has an opportunity to start scrubbing clean. You've heard, you know, the veils start lifting. You know, the Buddha said, we are what we think. Everything we are arises with our thoughts. With our thoughts, we create the world. The Buddha was correct, but he wasn't saying that in a positive way, even though that's what the law of attraction teaches. He wasn't saying, he was saying that's why you can't become awakened, because you've got all these different world planes, different thoughts. You've got to get rid of your thoughts. So true meditation practice is someone teaching you the different methods and also transmitting light to you so that you can, they're meditating. I am meditating the people that are part of the mystical experience. Because when it first happened to me and my teacher started meditating me, I could go into deeper meditation so much faster. It was incredible. After 4 years, I was awakened. I mean, that's a rare thing to happen. I'm not going to say it happens to everybody. I didn't expect it to happen to me. I just did all of the things because I loved the feeling of meditating. And afterwards, you feel like you've had 10 hours sleep from just 2 hours of good meditation. So that's the difference. And they are both powerful. I think it's important to have balance. I know that Yogananda said that when he first came to the West, Paramahansa Yogananda. It's good to have the spiritual side and the material side, because then you can really have a happy life and you can focus more on your inner self. So I 100 million%, I know that's stupid when people say that, but I 100 to infinity% agree with Yogananda. Every area of our life is spiritual. None of it's real. So you can say the material life, but it's really just the fact that everybody can have the prosperity and the health and the life that they want, but they just didn't know what to do first.
All right. I want to delve into one more area over here. A lot of good information. By the way, love your energy. Love your energy. Obviously, this has made a huge impact, what you do, not only yourself, but on many, many people that you work with. And one of the things that you've been doing over the years is live events where people can experience. And I know right now you've also been moving a lot of those live events to live streamed events where they can see you stream live right now. Can you tell us a little bit about the live events and then how people can see you either in person or live stream? Where would they get more information?
Well, at the moment, just at micheleblood.com/self-growth. We've got lots of different places there. You can find the mystical experience. We've got my calendar of events, and they can experience on Receive Divine Light is what the website we use for when we've got free events, because I like to do free events for people so they can have an opportunity to experience meditation and having prayer and light transmissions done for them. And so just micheleblood.com/self-growth. We are doing virtual events every week. And we are really enjoying it. We're getting so many people. I mean, like Tony Robbins last week had 12,000 people on a virtual event. Isn't that awesome?
That's amazing. Oh, that's where we are right now.
They don't have to pay for their airfare. They don't have to pay for their hotel, because normally I'll do them in big hotel rooms all around the place. And people fly in from all over the world, because the mystical experience, it's only 30% Americans. The rest are all from different countries, 26 different countries.
Yeah, this is a good time right now for people to take an opportunity to really work on it, for us to work on ourselves.
Yes.
You know, obviously a lot of things are changing. A lot of things are going to continue to change. It's going to be the new normal. But within the new normal, I really urge people to take this as an opportunity to work with Michele Blood and people like that to really to work on yourself to grow. So we've covered a lot of material. Before we wrap up today, I just want to give you a chance. Any final words for our audience today? A last message? What do what do you want to leave people with as a final message today before we finish up?
Thank you, David. I would love them to know that your circumstances aren't bad just because you think it is. Things can be changed so quickly. You can be reinvented so easily because, as I said, you've got to take action. But even if you just begin to listen to the musivation, affirmation music, just to bring your energy up so that you can begin, because sometimes people get inertia because they just can't think, what am I going to do now? How do I reinvent myself? You've got to bring your oscillation up first. Make a decision to do that first. Listen to the visualization, listen to the affirmation songs, dance, exercise, do whatever you can. And every day do one thing that's going to make someone else happy. Either give them money or call them or send them a funny joke. Every day do something for somebody else. Get your energy off your problems and think about what you can do to make other people happy.
All right. I love that message. It's a powerful one. And Michele, thanks for joining us. It's been wonderful.
Thank you, David. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
You're welcome. Good
Well done.
energy. I love it. We'll do the elbow bumps. And I want to thank everybody for listening. Make sure you get the download. And I wish everybody great success in all areas of your life. We'll talk to everybody soon.